Hey everyone, how's it going? Kind of doing another just ad hoc video. Planned out, but it's not. I'm not sure when this video is going to be released. I don't know if it's going to come out before or after the September pickups video. But if you haven't seen it yet or if it hasn't come out yet, I got something for the C64 that I've been needing for a while. And I finally decided to plunk down some cash and get one. It came in a cube-shaped box and it was all just wrapped in bubble wrap. And no static bags or anything, so I'm hoping it works. I just put it in this old case that I had, but what I picked up was a unique test kit. Now it comes with a Diagnostics and Utilities cartridge, as you can see here, but it also came with some harnesses, but it's not your typical harness. None of the components are wired up together. Well, I should say that none of them seem to be wired up to the user port, so I'm not really sure if this is just an incomplete kit or if I'm supposed to wire it. There were no instructions or anything, and the eBay listing doesn't really have much info on there either. But I bought this kit specifically because of its unique features, or lack thereof. So, joystick port tester with resistors in place. Again, nothing wired up to the user port. It's possible that I might have to do that myself. We'll see. And then some more test resistors for this particular harness here. And then, of course, that. So I want to see if it works. I want to test everything out because if it works, I want to use it on my spare parts C64 that I picked up to try to fix this one. And I want to see if I can try to get that one working too. And I know I'm going to need to do a little bit more than just a dead test testing. So we're going to open this guy up, we're going to hook it up to the TV, and I'm going to see if I can get it working. Okay, so I think I've got everything hooked up right. I've got the keyboard harness, user port, cassette port, floppy drive port, got my AV hooked up, got the test cartridge in, and the joystick harness in. Plug in the power, which is an aftermarket new power supply, which I showed off a few times in the past, which has its own power switch on it, which is nice. And let's see if I get anything. Sorry for the bad angle on the B-roll here. Not very good shot of the screen, but I can't really get anything in front of it because of the fact that I've got all this other equipment in the way and I don't have any way to capture it to a PC. So hopefully you'll be able to make out. There's a little bit of glare. Let me see if I can move the camera a little bit here. So right now you see 0 page OK, stack page OK, RAM OK, 64K RAM. Guess it's testing that right now. Cycle 1. Let me see if I can maybe move this here. That's even worse glare. Well, maybe I'll hold the camera for a bit and you can see. And hopefully the rest of the tests work. I don't know how long this diagnostic runs for, so I'm just going to leave it going and come back once it's done. Okay, so apparently it's stuck on the 64K RAM test. Again, I'm not sure how long it's supposed to take. I would assume it would be pretty quick, but then again, I'm not sure. The only manual I can find for this diagnostic is in German, and according to the eBay listing, that's all they had too. So this is the German diagnostic kit that Commodore used, Commodore Germany used. And yeah, so I really don't know how long it should take. I'll let it run for a little bit longer, and if it doesn't move, then I'm going to shut it off and turn it back on and try it without the harnesses and see what happens. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off, disconnect the harnesses and turn it back on with just a cartridge in and see what happens. Alright, let's see. Seems to get stuck on the RAM, and now I know. Oh, wait. Bad U23. Huh, interesting. The ROM didn't test well either. I wonder if it's because of the bad RAM, because it says bad ROS. Although ROS has been misbehaving lately, so... U23, interesting. Doesn't seem to get warm, but it doesn't mean anything. Could also be the capacitor that's tied to it, but... When I run a dead test cartridge, though, on it didn't seem to fail, so I'm kind of confused, I guess. But U23, so be it. The RAM chips I bought back in January or February of this year, forget, this has been such a long year. They should work with this, so we will find out. I will shut this off and see if I can't do the piggyback test. You see here I have 10 RAM chips. Don't know if they're new or not, but they should be compatible. Let's take a look at one of these here. If I can get it to focus. Why won't you focus? Let's look at the B-roll and see if I can get it to focus on here. There we go. So these are Texas Instruments 6164's 15s, which should be compatible with this C64 here. So let's see, they said it was U23. Now what's on here are Mitsubishi's. So piggyback test doesn't always work, but sometimes it does. Let me bend these pins a little bit to make better contact. Now the trick is that you have to make direct contact with these pins to the pins that are on here. Otherwise, obviously it doesn't work, and you always also run the risk of shorting it out if... There, those are... That's good. So fire the power supply back up and then turn the system back on and see what happens. Yep, so piggyback method works. First time I've tried that. That's awesome. Basic ROM now seems to show up correctly. It actually says ROM. Again, I don't know how long this test should take. There could still be other issues with this one, which again, I thought it was fine. I'll run the dead test and see if it gives me the same results or not. It's also possible that the RAM went bad since last time. But it's nice to know that the RAM that I bought works. Maybe I'll try the harnesses again and see what happens. But while this is going, I'm going to look for my dead test cart, which I believe is nearby. I would think that these tests should fly by, so there could be something else going on here. We'll try the dead test cartridge and see how that works, and let's go from there. I'll remove this memory chip for now. I really need to look into getting some cartridge cases. I don't like bare PCBs like that. All right, let's fire this up. See what the dead test shows, if anything. Now, you did see right on the screen, it said the RAM test was okay. SID test worked out fine. It seemed like everything sounded okay. Not exactly sure why this Commodore Diagnostic Utilities cartridge, the part number is 324-528-02. This one showed that it had bad U23. So I'm not really sure why that is. I also don't like the fact that this PCB has completely straight edges instead of beveled edges and tapered corners, because you can see here a little bit of damage already. Now, I don't know if I didn't pay attention if it was like that going in or not, but a beveled edge and tapered corners would fix that issue. So the dead test though, which by the way I just realized it's from the same seller that I bought this kit from, is not showing any RAM issues. Definitely nothing with U23. So is one wrong and one right, or hard to say. Yeah, so this is working fine. Otherwise, let's try it again. Now this PCB also straight edges and corners, but it seems to not have the same issue as this. So what I'll have to do is go back to the unboxing and see if that damage was there or not, because if it was, then I'm going to shoot them a message and see if they can't do something about it. So let's try again. Let's make sure that the chip is in. Let's try and see what happens. Oh, forgot the power supply. Wish I had a third diagnostic cartridge. There's several other types as well, and it might show me different results. See, it's getting stuck again at the 64K RAM test, but we'll let it sit for a bit and see what happens. It's not really getting warm to the touch or anything. Not any warmer than the other chips anyway. But it's not progressing either, so I don't know what to make of it. Dead test says it's fine. The diagnostic test says it's not. Now it's saying bad address on the color RAM. I'm thinking there might be something wrong with the... Now it's saying bad U24. Yeah, I'm thinking that the diagnostic cartridge isn't working. It's possible that that particular cartridge doesn't work with this revision board. This is a 25407 artwork 251-137. It's a Rev B board. It's a pretty common board, so I would assume that it would work, but it's possible it doesn't. I'm going to see if I can load up the PDF online and get a translation of it and see what comes up. But for this video, I'm going to leave it as a, I don't know, a part one. Kind of like end it off on a cliffhanger, a mystery. And I'm going to do some research, check up online, and see if anyone else has even come across a kit like this, or results like this, or anything. And hopefully I can get a resolution to it, and then we can take a look at the spare parts C64 and diagnose that. I believe I know what's wrong with it, just from playing around with it, but I want to do a full diagnostic, which if this cartridge doesn't work, I'll have to rely on the dead test, and hopefully that'll at least tell me something. So, sorry for leaving it on a cliffhanger, but sometimes that's just how it goes. This is a long video as it is, and all I did was poke around with a few things, so. Future Costech here. Just wanted to give you guys an update. I reached out to the seller. We went back and forth with some troubleshooting and questions, and they determined that the ROM chip on the card is bad. So they're going to send me a whole new cartridge. I'm going to give it a shot and let them know if it works. There will also be an update to this video then once I get that, so we can see if it is working or not. And I just want to let you guys know that that's happening. So back to the rest of this video. But if you like the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. No obligations or anything, of course. And also, I should mention that, because I shut off these PCBs, they're not sponsoring me or anything. It's just an eBay seller that I went through. So, but if you didn't like this video, go ahead, hit the thumbs down. Leave a comment below, though, please, so you can let me know what you didn't like about it so I can try to make improvements going forward. And we'll catch you in part 2.